instead of rolling up their sleeves and working on the things that we can agree on together, you've seen an extreme faction of the Republican Party that has shown again and again and again that they're willing to hijack the entire party and the country and the economy and grind progress to an absolute halt if they don't get 100% of what they want. Now, this isn't just speculation. We just saw it last month.
Yeah, there you go. That's Barack Obama at his best. Welcome to the Steve Malzberg Show. Monday edition. We kick off a brand new week, the first week of November. Wow, who could believe that? And that was Obama campaigning for Terry McAuliffe yesterday in Virginia. The governor's race, of course, Ken Cuccinelli, the attorney general, and Terry McAuliffe locked up in a heated battle, which will culminate tomorrow with the election. And Obama went on to say, by the way, that I want to put the fear of God in all of you. Now, that, with regard to the election and how bad it would be to elect Cuccinelli. Now, according to a new book by Mark Halperin and John Helleman, Double Down, Game Change 2012, Barack Obama told aides about his drone strikes, quote, "I'm really good at killing people." Now, what kind of man says things like this? Joining us now is a friend of mine for many years. I'm so glad to have him on the show for the first time. Judge Andrew Napolitano, senior legal analyst for Fox News. Judge, how are you?
Stevie, I'm happy, notwithstanding what's going on in the world about us, because I'm with you, and we are dear friends, and congratulations on this radio show. All the best to you.
Thank you very much, Judge. Appreciate it. Okay, so you wrote a great piece, and the title was, Napolitano, that's you. Is Obama a dupe, a totalitarian, megalomaniacal liar? I don't know. Is he a dupe or a totalitarian megalomaniacal liar?
The column actually ends with, which is worse? I mean, here are the facts. The president has used the NSA to spy on the cell phone of Angela Merkel, the Chancellor of Germany. And she uses that cell phone to talk to her husband and her children and her family and the political leaders of her party and the officials who work for her in the government. She also uses that cell phone to talk to other world leaders, among whom is the president, which means that the NSA is spying on the president of the United States when he is speaking to other world leaders. Now, how asinine is that he has dispatched his spies with such utter abandon that they not only spy on Angela Merkel, they not only spy on the conclave that elected the Pope, they not only spy on the Secretary General of the United Nations, so the president knows before he comes to his office what he's going to ask for. They spy on the president himself. This is not only asinine, this reveals an incredible addiction to the use of secret government power, far beyond the reasons for which the law authorizes the use of that power. If the president is using NSA spies so that when people who visit him have an agenda, he knows ahead of time what the agenda is because his spies have listened in on their phone calls, that's just not a proper use of it. And if he doesn't know that the NSA is doing this for him, if he thinks that the information that's coming to him about what Ban Ki-moon wants to talk about is coming from some lawful means, then we really have an NSA that's out of control because the head of the NSA, the president of the United States, doesn't even know what they're doing and doesn't even know that they're spying on him. Now, spying on the president is beyond asinine. It may actually be illegal because the president uses terminology and reflects national security secrets, which the individual spies listening to that phone call may not be privy to. If he knows that, he's spilling the beans in an unlawful way. If he doesn't know that, then he's presiding over a government of spies and killers that is utterly and totally out of control.
All right, well,
which is worse, that he knows it or that he doesn't?
Well, that's the question. And you know what? To your point, Judge, and I will keep it focused on here, but to your point, is it worse that he knows or didn't know about the IRS scandal? Is it worse that he knew he was lying or he didn't know he was lying? Is it worse that he didn't know what happened with Benghazi and that there was no video, or that he did know there was no video responsible for the attack? I mean, we could say this about everything. This president is either the most out of touch, distant president we've ever had who doesn't care about anything, or he's dumb like a fox.
Well, the late, great Archbishop Sheen used to say he would rather deal with a smart devil than a stupid one. So I suppose it's better that he does know and is misleading us, because if he knows, at least he's in the ability to, he has the ability to stop it, rather than these guys are totally and utterly out of control and he doesn't know about it. But here's a couple of points for you.
Yeah.
When people are under observation, they will consciously or unconsciously change their behavior if they know that they will someday be required to justify that behavior to those doing the observing.
You would think so, absolutely.
Well, the flip side of this is when the government is not under observation, because everything it does in secret, it will do whatever it wants to and get away with whatever it can, because the natural tendency of power in the hands of government officials is to expand. And when there is no public accountability for that, there's no natural break on the expansion. So we have the worst of all worlds. We have spies operating in secret who are providing a service to one of their clients, the President of the United States, by spying on people who are coming to visit him, whose thoughts have nothing to do with national security. And we have now certain knowledge that everything we say, including this phone call, including our off-the-record, hey, Judge, hey, Steve, comments before we began the show, everything we say to everybody anywhere in the United States of America, everything we put in an email, everything we put in a text, is available to the NSA.
And you see, yeah, and that's that. We're talking to Judge Andrew Napolitano here on the Steve Malzberg Show. That's the part I don't like. See, I'm all for national security, and I got to tell you, I've been told by so many people, including the former head of the House Intelligence Committee, Pete Hoekstra, including other congressmen and other people who say, you know, look, every foreign leader is spied upon. Like Israel said, what? Everybody's feigning this outrage. Everybody spies on everybody. But that aside, foreign leaders, that's one thing. But if you're going to listen to my phone calls, and even track the phone numbers that I call, but at the same time, if we know, God forbid, that a guy we have in custody knows where the bomb at a school or a shopping mall is going to go off tomorrow, and you won't stick, I know you may not even agree with this, and you won't stick his head underwater to save American lives because it's not who we are, I don't see how you could have it both ways as a president making those decisions.
Well, with respect to the phone calls, I don't want to debate the...
yeah, but I'm just saying it's inconsistent, yeah.
But with respect to the phone calls, when Great Britain wanted to know what the colonists had in their homes, they had judges in a secret court in London sign general warrants. A general warrant authorizes the bearer of the warrant to look wherever he wants for whatever he wants. The whole purpose of the Fourth Amendment, which requires that warrants specifically describe the person or place to be searched and the person or thing to be seized, was to prevent this practice. So we've gone back a full 180 degrees, a full 230 years, to a practice that we arguably fought the American Revolution in order to ban. And the government is inflicting this upon us now.
All right, I just want to point out to folks, of course, that Judge Andrew Napolitano, former judge of the Superior Court of New Jersey and the author of 7 books on the Constitution, including your most recent great book, Theodore and Woodrow, How Two American Presidents Destroyed Constitutional Freedom. And I recommend that highly. You and I don't agree on everything, but I love talking to you. I love listening to you on Fox. I love reading your stuff, and I hope you'll come back, sir.
My pleasure, Steve. All the best to you.
Take care. You too. Judge Andrew Napolitano, ladies and gentlemen, you want to weigh in? 877-Newsmax, 877-639-7629, he said. No, the judge is a great guy. Now, it is asinine that the President of the United States could be spied on in his own conversations, and it's probably could be illegal, as the judge said. But, again, if a foreign leader is going to talk on an unsecure phone, any foreign leader, then they got to expect they're going to be spied on. I mean, to me, it's just some common sense. Steve Malzberg Show, Newsmax TV and radio.